12 o'clock. We're about to fill your ear holes with the sounds of Steve and Igo.
Oh, gross!
Get ready for the most in-depth discussion on everything ECU. Players, coaches, the program, and more. This is Hoist the Colors with Steve and Igo.
Play ball!
You ready? This is 94.3 The Game. This is where the Pirates play.
All right, welcome in. Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday. It is May 6th. Still getting used to the new intro. Can't really say it's growing on me, but we're going to roll with it for now. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. If you have a question, a comment, concern of the next hour, drop it on any of those platforms. We have them all pulled up. We'll get to them over the course of the show. A lot happening as the NBA, NHL playoffs continue. We'll touch on that at the back half of the show, but really wanted to dive deep into the conference baseball standings today. We also have some softball awards to hand out on the conference tournament front as their conference tournament gets away. But only 2 weeks left in the regular season for ECU baseball, and we know the Pirates are out of the mix for an at-large. So what's the best path to a conference title? What are the scenarios? Can ECU still miss the conference tournament? We'll break that all down over the course of the next hour. Also look ahead to the potential times that the Pirates could be playing because we have to schedule a watch-along. We're going to be doing that. I will not be heading to Clearwater. We'll be doing a watch-along from the studio for at least the first game, hopefully the second as well. All right, today's cast of characters, we've got Brady Thomas in studio. Hoist the Colors intern. His college career is wrapping up, Brady. You have one more exam tomorrow. You've already posted your graduation pics, so are you ready for the next phase of your life? Or do you want to stay in college some more?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready to be done. I'm excited. I remember sitting here talking about how it was 8 months away, but now it's right around the corner, just a few days. I'm going to be walking the stage. I'm excited.
It's crazy how fast it goes, man. Well, it's been fun, like we've said before. And we'll continue to get you on the show.
Of course.
Until you get your big boy job. So how about that? So we'll keep mixing you in along with the rest of our interns. Philip Pilkington, he's behind the glass. His Boston Celtics choked one away last night, so he's still recovering from that. But Philip, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. A little tired. Had to do Talk of the Town this morning. Not used to that, so I did not get to stay up and watch your Nuggets play, which I wanted to. Obviously, I did not even have to check the score this morning because I woke up to multiple texts to let me know you guys had won, and by some of the ones I got, it kind of made it clear that it was some kind of dramatic fashion. So I obviously got up and watched the highlights to that. So congrats to your boys, and I don't understand how guys do morning sports talk radio because it's hard to be a sports fan and wake up at 4:45 in the morning. So I don't know how they do it, but you're going to have to get it figured out here in the next couple of weeks, having to fill in for Michael on Talk of the Town.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough, and I didn't go to sleep till like the adrenaline from the game, and we'll get to the ending later, which I do want to have a talk about the Oklahoma City's Thunder fouling. I don't know if you saw that, Philip, in the highlights, but we'll break it down for you. And just questionable decision by their coaching, but we'll discuss that. But yeah, I didn't go to sleep till like 1:30 from the adrenaline rush, but here we are. So glad to be talking some ball. And let's start with ECU baseball. The standings right now are a bit of a mess. If you've checked out on the season or haven't been following as closely as you normally do because of ECU's tournament chances, NCAA tournament chances, I understand. So we'll run through. UTSA has already clinched a share of the conference title with 6 conference games remaining. 2 weeks left in the regular season. They are 18-3. They come to Greenville this weekend. They have lost just 3 conference games out of 21 games played. And then after that, it is just a jumbled mess. FAU, Charlotte, and South Florida are all 12-9, tied for second. Then you have Tulane and ECU tied for fifth at 11-10. As a reminder, the top 8 teams make the conference tournament. So Rice is currently holding the 7th spot at 8-13. They are 1 game ahead of UAB, Memphis, and Wichita State, who are all 7-14. Now ECU, struggling to do math here. It looks like ECU is at least, they are 3 games ahead of Rice, and they are 4 games ahead of UAB, Memphis, and Wichita State. The Pirates have the head-to-head tiebreaker over Rice, UAB, and Memphis. They do not over Wichita. I believe Wichita plays Rice and Memphis in the weeks ahead, or two of those bottom teams. So they're trying to make it in. So there's kind of a snapshot of the standings. And ECU, they play UTSA and then they go to USF, two of the better teams in the league. So it's not a slam dunk that they're in the conference tournament, but I mean, they would have to probably lose at least 5 of 6, if not all 6, and have these other teams go on, runs of 5-1 for them to miss the tournament. So I'm not too concerned about it. Is it a slam dunk? No, but assuming ECU takes care of business where they win at least a game or two, they should be in the tournament. Now, as you guys look at these standings, does anything stand out to you most before we start breaking down maybe like a potential matchup we want to see in the postseason? I don't know, Brady. How about you? Like, does anything intrigue you from these standings, or is it just a bit of a jumbled mess?
I mean, the middle is definitely a jumbled mess, but ECU. I mean, when two out of 3 games this weekend, and ECU could find themselves
You're a game out of second.
Yeah, somewhat near the top. Obviously, nobody's beating out UTSA at this point, but I mean, these other teams are only 3 games above 500, and win a couple games this weekend, and you're going to find yourself in a pretty good spot.
What about you, Philip? Anything stand out?
I don't think this can happen because of the teams having to play each other and certain teams having to lose. But it's the fact that mathematically the team who is currently in second could finish last. Now, like I said, there's too many having to play each other kind of things, I think. I think it would have to be a scenario like every team at the bottom happened to have to play everybody at the top. But, yeah, South Florida could technically, with 6 games left, be caught by the team who is currently in last place. So that shows there's parity within the conference, which is a good and a bad thing. I think it's good when everybody's really good, right? Hey, there's parity, but I just don't know if anybody's really good, other than maybe UTSA.
Yeah.
Better than they've been in the past, I think, but still not to the level that we want it to be. So I think that's intriguing. There's going to be a lot of battle for seeding, and it's going to come down to Saturday afternoon of that final day for a few of these teams to see whether or not they get in. And I think this is going to be a scenario where you see a team win or lose a game Saturday, and they head into the clubhouse, whether it be home or away, and have to put another game up on the television to see whether or not they are going to Clearwater or whether or not their season is over. So I guess from a neutral standpoint, it makes it really fun. For a team that's in the mix of it, it makes it very stressful. So if you're a UTSA fan, you're probably kind of having fun watching everybody else whip up on each other and hearts get broken.
UTSA is very much in the spot that ECU is usually in, where we're just talking about what is the NCAA seeding going to be like, let alone, or instead of the actual conference tournament seeding. So it's just, we're not used to being in this spot, and it is different. But the encouraging thing, if you're an East Carolina fan, is the lack of success over the history of the number 1 seeds in terms of the conference tournament. I'm trying to find the stat. Yeah, here we go. In the past 10 AAC tournaments, this was via Johnny's stats last night on our Bucks on the Pond podcast. In the past 10 AAC tournaments, the number 1 seed has only won it 1 time, which was ECU in 2022. The number 7, number 6, and number 3 seeds have all won it in the past 4 years. No team has won it without winning the first 2 games. So, basically it's going to be, even when ECU's been the dominant team, which obviously they have been for the last 5 years, it is very hard to show up to Clearwater, Florida in front of 14 people and win these games when it's 100 degrees outside and everybody's scrapping and fighting for their lives. So that to me is encouraging. Does it mean ECU is going to win the tournament? No, but it tells me there's a shot and a path. And I said this last night, but I would take the field over UTSA in the conference tournament. Just based on the history, Brady.
Yeah, that's just how it lines up. I don't disagree at all. ECU, I'm not saying I'm going to write a check and cash it that ECU's going to win.
Put the bet down now.
I'm going to pass. But they very well have a shot just due to the history of the AAC tournament. And honestly, I'd go out there and pitch 3 good games to start the weekend. You're going to be right there in the mix for sure.
All right, the matchups, we'll stick to the conference tournament standings, and we'll get a break in a little bit. And we got a question from Lane about who would be a good matchup or a path to a title. We'll break that down on the other side. But to kind of give you guys an idea, again, with the standings being so jumbled, every game is going to be critical. I mean, if ECU were to somehow win 2 out of 3 against UTSA this weekend, you'd have a chance to finish or be up near second place. So that'd be a massive difference. Versus if you get swept, you're going to be worried about even making the tournament. So these games ahead are critical. But conferences matchups around the league. UAB, which is 7-14, it goes to Charlotte, which is 12-9. Again, Charlotte right now tied for second place, so that's a favorable series for them. UTSA at ECU, you would say UTSA is the favorite in that. South Florida at FAU. South Florida got swept by UTSA last weekend. FAU and South Florida also tied at 12-9 for second place. Tulane, which is in the mix as well, 11-10, they go to Memphis. So we'll see how that plays out, as they would be the favorite there, but they have to go on the road. And then Wichita State heading to Rice. And then the following Thursday, I should say, as it'll be a Thursday through Saturday series. In the American, you'll have these following matchups to close out the regular season. You have FAU at UAB, with UAB potentially planning to make the tournament. ECU at South Florida, which will have seeding implications. Rice at UTSA, favorable series for the Roadrunners. Memphis is at Wichita State. And then Tulane hosts Charlotte. So, in short, Philip, a lot to play out here. I don't think any team really has an easy final 2 weeks. Wichita does get Rice and Memphis, so they'll have a chance to play themselves into the tournament. But, like, from a middle-pack seeding type of deal, all these teams are going to have to go out and beat some pretty good competition.
Well, yeah, like we said, it's kind of weird. It's like all the teams who are bad have to play each other, which makes that kind of intriguing. But all the teams that are whatever
mid?
they are. Yeah, mid. We'll call them mid.
As
For
the
sake
kids
of the
say, right, Brady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're mid. They all have to play each other. So this is going to be big. And then it comes down to it. Now, no team's going to try and lose a baseball game on purpose, but what happens on Saturday, the final week of the season? Tulane, Charlotte. We're just going to throw them in there as a hypothetical. And South Florida, East Carolina could be the same. You're sitting at 5. Would you rather fall to 6? Because 6 avoids UTSA till the championship. 5, if they win and UTSA wins, has to play them Thursday. Like I said, nobody's going to go out there and shave points or throw a game, but it's a conversation that has to be had because you just mentioned, again, Tulane and Charlotte, East Carolina, and South Florida. Those 4 teams are going to be 4 of the 5, most likely, that are fighting for that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spot. Then the other teams are going to be fighting for 7, because there's a little bit of a fall off, and then you've got 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, that middle section, we'll get into that on the other side. I do want to look at who would be the ideal matchup for ECU, assuming the Pirates finish somewhere in that middle as well. I do want to give a shout-out to ECU softball, the Pirates softball team. They will start their conference tournament. They are the 6th seed in their tournament. Later this week, they will play the winner of the Memphis UAB game, I believe, let's see here, on May 7th at 7 p.m.
So they play tomorrow night, but they'll get the winner of the game that's tomorrow afternoon.
Gotcha. So Memphis and UAB, the 10-7 game, they will get the winner of that tomorrow night in the softball tournament. So Morgan Johnson, first team all-conference, first baseman, home run hitter. Good to see her close her career with a big honor. And then Annie Kate Dalton and Emma Jackson, second team honors as well. Kendall Frost, an all-freshman team selection. So congrats to those ladies. Obviously, Annie Kate Dalton, Morgan Johnson, Emma Jackson have been key pieces now for multiple years after transferring in. And then Kendall Frost, a future and current standout pitcher for the Pirates in the circle. So just wanted to mention that as well. Again, they'll be in action tomorrow night. We'll keep you updated with those. That is a single elimination tournament, unlike baseball, which is a double elimination.
Where you can throw pitchers in back-to-back days. It's single elimination. I wonder what moron
Makes
came
zero
up
sense,
with this.
but here we are. The American in general, we could do a whole show on the stupid conference tournament format, but who knows? Maybe we can get into that on the other side. I'll tell you what, we'll answer Lane Smith's question. He says, who would be a good opponent in the best matchup for ECU? We'll get into that. We'll touch on the UTSA series a little bit, what we hope to see there. And then we'll look at the actual bracket. What is the ideal time for a watch-along? We'll discuss that on the other side. Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds, or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Climb aboard as we set sail and hoist the colors. Arr, matey! Back to the show with Steve and I go on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday, May 6th. We got Brady Thomas hanging out, Philip Pilkinson behind the glass as well. We're talking about the ECU conference tournament scenarios, path to a championship, all that. The standings are a little convoluted. I believe that's an appropriate word for this situation. A lot going on with the standings past UTSA, which is the clear number 1. And we were just talking about it, like, what is the ideal path? I guess the ideal path, guys, is to be on the opposite side of UTSA. Although we did just say that the number 1 seed has only won the tournament one time in the past 10 years. So maybe this is a better question for after this weekend series when we see how UTSA and ECU match up head-to-head. But I don't know, Brady, like, is there an ideal seed if you're the 4 or 5? Or obviously the 8, you're on UTSA's side. So would you like to avoid them, or do you just win as many games as possible and deal with it when you get there?
Yeah, like you said, this probably is a better conversation for after this weekend because right now I think the only thing ECU should be focused on is winning games. But I don't know. I mean, just due to history, it might not be a big deal if you're on UTSA's side, but you don't want to see a hot baseball team in any conference postseason tournament. So
I think it is huge. Oh, sorry, Brady.
No, go ahead.
I think it is huge to not be on UTSA's side. You mentioned the last 3 winners, 7, 6, and 3. What do they have in common? They're not on the same side as the 1. So, yes, the 1 hasn't been winning, but the 1 has been at least wearing out the pitching enough of the teams in which they are facing and hindering them from winning. So, yeah, when's the last time a 4-5 or an 8 won? Do you know off the top of your head, Igo?
I don't. I mean,
It's
that's
been
a
a
good
while.
question, yeah.
Yeah.
ECU was the 8. They 1 year. They almost made it in 17. They made the championship game, I believe, without losing, and then just ran into a hot Houston team.
Was UConn the one in Houston the 2?
I believe so.
That was that year?
I'd have to go back and look at it, but yeah, I think so. I don't know, man. It's if I'm ECU and if you could make a dream scenario, I think you're the 3 seed and you somehow avoid Charlotte and FAU because both those teams have bona fide aces in Trey Beard for FAU and Gillespie for Charlotte, both of which pretty much stifled ECU. I don't know if there's another. Hickson for Rice is scary, but you're probably not going to be playing Rice unless you're the one, most likely, unless they run off a string of games and surge up the standings. So that's one thing going into this conference tournament. If you're UTSA, you probably, as it stands now, you may have to face. UAB is the 8. So if Rice falls to the 8, the 2 may have to face Davian Hickson, who's one of the best pitchers in the league for Rice. So that's a factor as well. If you're the 2, you could have a tough matchup. So I say if you're the 3, that would be ideal. Or if you're the 6, it's not that big of a deal. And you avoid those teams ideally.
Here's the thing, though, with Hickson. Rice is probably going to not be able to manage their staff the weekend before.
That is true, yeah.
He might not be available Tuesday. So to answer Lane's question, who is the best matchup? The best matchup is a team who felt the need to win at all costs the previous weekend and is depleted in arms. So I can't give you a college.
Yeah.
What I'm going to give you is a scenario. The scenario is the ideal thing is to be a 2 or a 3 against a team who ended up 6 or 7, but coming into the weekend had the ability to miss the conference tournament, was playing a team also maybe either in that same boat or even, kind of in that 5-6 range where they just had a lot of hot bats, used a lot of pitching, and they show up on Tuesday throwing out guys who haven't pitched since March Madness ended. That's the ideal scenario, but I know that's a crappy way to answer the question, and I'm sorry, but it's the truth. If you run into a team that has an ace who can throw their ace, that's not good. If you have a team who's rolling out, Charlie Hodges, feeling okay.
Why you got to take a shot at
I don't
Chuck
know.
Hodges?
I was just thinking of somebody who randomly pitched.
I mean, it's
He's
true.
not currently on the team.
Rice, by the way, closes with Wichita State at home this weekend. Then they go to UTSA. So that would be a tough finish. Yeah, and I don't know. There's just so much. There's so many moving parts. And honestly, we could have the same conversation next week, and we probably will. And we may not know anything else. The one thing I do know looking at this is if ECU gets to that 2nd or 3rd seed, they're going to have to play some really good baseball because that means at least taking 2 from UTSA as well as probably winning the USF series. So if you do finish 2nd or 3rd, if possible, then I think you would feel great because Cliff Godwin said, Brady, you can't just show up at the conference tournament and then turn it on. You got to start playing good baseball now. So starting this weekend, I think it's imperative that the Pirates at least start to look like they're rounding into form because they have not been that way these last 5 weeks.
No, and it's funny looking at the conference standings. It's like some of these, I would expect some of these teams to be 6-7 games over 500 the way that they came to Greenville and played and the way that I've watched the game, and they're only 3 games over 500, so it's just kind of funny to see that. But yeah, they got to start playing good baseball soon, and sooner rather than later, meaning this weekend against a good baseball team. But yeah, you're not just going to go down to Clearwater and go, I don't know how many you have to win the championship to, but you're not just going to go undefeated if you're losing 2 out of 3 this weekend, 2 out of 3 next weekend, get beat by Campbell again like we did earlier this year. You're going to have to start playing good baseball.
Cameron says, no way this team can win more than 2 games in the AAC tournament. We only have 1 reliable pitcher in Norby. Not going to work. I mean, we were talking about off the air. You got to win the first 2 games. That's what it comes down to, and we'll have that conversation once we get closer. But, I guess you would have to throw Norby on that Tuesday unless you're in a situation where you have to win the final game or two to make the tournament.
He's definitely got to go that Friday before Thursday or whatever, that weekend before.
Is Norby your game one starter, Philip?
Yeah.
I mean, like, who else could it be?
So, I mean, but it comes down to kind of what Brady's point is like, if you would think you might have to use him the game before, but Cliff Godwin did say yesterday on the show that they are open, as long as everything's good, to resting some guys. So, maybe he throws Thursday, but he throws 60, 65 pitches. But, yeah, I'm rolling him out there game one. And if I'm not rolling him out there, I'm rolling out a guy I trust as an opener. A guy who has pitched the first inning well. And then I'm handing the ball to Sean Jenkins or Ethan Young and asking them to get me 4 or 5 innings. But the thing is, do not let them start. You have to send a guy out there to throw the first pitch to the first batter and then hand the ball to Ethan Young or Sean Jenkins, I trust them. Don't let them throw the first pitch. They don't pitch well when they throw the first pitch. Ethan Young, you got a small sample size. He's only done it once, and that was his worst outing, though. But give him the ball in the second inning, man. He's shoving. He's been darn near untouchable. The only really bad outings out of that, like I said, was the first week, but, hey, it was his first D1 baseball game.
And to Cameron's point, like, I understand it, but, who else in the league has more than, like, 1 or 2 reliable pitchers? Even what I saw from Charlotte and FAU, and I know they won the series, like, once you get past their top guys, anybody's beatable. UTSA may be a different story. I have not seen enough of them this year. It's just if you win that first game and you get to Thursday, it's just kind of who executes in those moments. I don't think anybody in this league, like, nobody really scares me outside of UTSA. And ECU falls in that category too. Like, if I'm an opposing team, I'm not scared of ECU right now, but that doesn't mean let's say you get a good Brad Pruitt and a good Sean Jenkins and a good Ethan Young all at the same time, you can win it. Would you count on that and take it to the bank? Not with the inconsistency we've seen, but it is possible. So I would say that there is a way this team can win more than 2 games. Now, if I had to predict it today, I have ECU going 1-2 in the conference tournament because I think if you fall in that loser's bracket, you're done, especially with this staff. But it is possible, and a lot depends on the draw. So I don't know. There's a lot to still play out here, but I just wanted to start looking at the conference tournament because I know a lot of people are leaning in that direction. But how much will we learn, Brady, this weekend? Like, if ECU just gets boat raced by UTSA at home, then I think I'm not going to say that they have 0-0 shot of winning the tournament, but, like, I at least want to see this team show some life to feel decent about it going down the stretch. UTSA is really good, but they're coming to your house. It's time to show some pride and, not back down.
Yeah, in all aspects of the game, this is a weekend that you desperately need. Like I said earlier, you win 2 of these games, you could find yourself in possibly 3rd in the conference after just not an ideal season, which would be great heading into the tournament. But yeah, this is the moment that they need to step up and show that they can win some baseball games.
All right, let's look at a potential watch-along scenarios, enough of actual tournament scenarios, which ties into it. So Tuesday, May 20th, we're going to have a watch-along of some sort. Now, if ECU is in the 5-4 game, we're going to be doing it bright and early. 9 a.m. first pitch, baby, which would take us into the show, and let's just say more than 4-hour game, which would be fun. That's the 4-5 game. The number 1, number 8 seed game is 47 minutes following that, so probably around 1 o'clock. ECU will likely not be in that game, definitely not from a 1 seed. Could be an 8 if all things go awry. That would be around 1. The 7-2 game is at 4 p.m. that afternoon.
That's going to be 5.
Yeah. I hate that they do these times, but I guess they got to list it somewhere. 4 to 5-ish range. And then the number 6, number 3 game is 47 minutes following game 3, which would be 8:30, 9 o'clock, right?
No.
Later?
Yeah. Because you think first game starts at 9. Let's just say they're 3-hour baseball games. First game starts at 9, then you go 1, then you go 5. So, yeah, 9 at least, I think.
How do we feel about HTC After Dark watch on? I think that would be pretty lit,
For
honestly.
you guys, it would be. I mean, crap. I got stuck doing these conference championship or conference basketball games. I was here till 1 a.m. Same thing might be happening here.
You know, as much as I would hate to have like a 9:30 first pitch for everybody else, I kind of like the thought of a watch along at 9:30.
I mean, you can go home and help Erica put the kids down and come back.
Yeah.
She would be thrilled. She'll be asleep by the time you come back. She can't be mad at you for leaving.
She would be thrilled. So, what's your guys' best case scenario here? What do y'all want to do? If you could pick it today, Brady, we'll start with you.
Whatever that 5 o'clock. I do like the after dark idea, but watching baseball till 12 o'clock.
You don't want to watch baseball till 1 a.m.?
That might not be too ideal, but yeah, I kind of digging that 5 o'clock game or 4, whatever we said.
I'm letting my part-time guys go home for a little bit after they help out a lot this week, and part of that's the beginning of the conference tournament. So I got to be here in the mornings anyways. Give me 9 a.m. I'm sorry. I know the people don't want to hear it.
Breakfast and baseball.
Yeah, look, I gotta show up to work at that point anyways. I don't want to be here all night if I don't have to be. I know I sound lazy, but give me 9 a.m. Give me a big win at 9. We'll roll right into Hoist the Colors, and we'll have us a grand old time celebrating a victory Tuesday, May the 20th.
I mean, I wouldn't hate the 9 a.m. start to get it over with. I kind of want 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. Nothing in between.
And then straight up reaction show to 12 o'clock HTC show would be fun too.
That would be fun. So we'll see. I feel like last year I guess ECU was the one, so we kept getting the noon or 1 o'clock start. So we would take this show, lead into the watch-alongs, but that probably will not be happening this year. So either way, we'll plan to do at least a watch-along for the first round. We'll see if we can get Sub Dogs sponsored again. We'll see if anybody can do the 9 dogs and 9 innings challenge like Dom did last year. You think you can do that, Brady?
Well, considering I don't eat hot dogs, then no.
You don't eat hot dogs?
No.
What, do you not like beef?
I eat burgers, but no, I don't eat hot dogs.
Wow. You may not be allowed on the watch-along.
Yeah. If Sub Dog sponsors it, you're kicked off. If Sub Dog sponsors the watch-along, Brady, you are producing the baseball game, and I will be on the watch-along.
Bro, can they not bring me a burger?
No, they can, and I will tell Brett to bring you one, and you can sit in there and produce the baseball game and eat your hamburger while the rest of us enjoy Sup Dogs.
Okay, cool. Okay, I haven't had a hot dog in probably 8 years.
Well, it's time to change that.
Perfect.
That's un-American.
We're
deporting your rear end to Canada.
We will have it live on air of me eating a hot dog.
All right, Brady said it. If we can get Sub Dogs to sponsor it, he is going to digest a hot dog live during our watch along. All right, Cameron adds before we go to break. It would be the most ECU thing ever, though, for us to go on a run in the tournament, win it, be a 3 or 4 seed in a regional, and somehow win that, then win supers and make it to Omaha after this bad of a season. I mean, they always say it could happen when you least expect it. I just don't see it, but get hot at the right time. Anything can happen. Fresno State won a national title as a 4 seed. So crazier things have happened, and we'll see what happens down the stretch this year. But got to start playing some good baseball before we can even think about it. Let's get a break in. When we come back, a former Pirate DB is off to a Big Ten school. Pretty shocking out of the portal. I do want to mention that. And then we'll get into the playoffs last night. I want to talk about, to tie it into just discussion about basketball as a whole, the whole win to foul up 3 at the end of a game that came up in the Nuggets game last night. We'll break that down and more. This is Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday.
Hey, it's Jim Wells again with Wells Roofing and Gutters here in the beautiful community of Lindale, Bedford. At Wells Roofing and Gutters, we believe in quality first, and that's why we use CertainTeed shingles, which are manufactured in Oxford, North Carolina, a local company. In the event you ever do have a claim or a problem with your roof system, they're local and they come and take care of us in a timely manner. We could leave off some accessories and we could certainly save money, but we believe at Wells Roofing and Gutters in installing the correct way per manufacturer requirements, and we warranty your roof both in-house and also with our supplier, who is CertainTeed. For a job Wells done, no shortcuts taken, and a good quality job on your home, give us a call today, 252-227-8403. We also offer financing, 12 months, no interest, no payments.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
The Pirates play here. Arr! This is Hoist the Colors Radio with Stephen Igo. Yes! That was so good! On 94.3, The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Hoist the Colors here on a Tuesday. Quick note on guest for the days ahead. Tomorrow we'll have Ryan Robinson, Executive Director of the Pirate Club, in studio. Talk about all the fundraising, facility upgrades, everything coming down there. So they've been on a roll lately in the Pirate Club. We'll have him hanging out for most of the show. Thursday, we're going to have Hank Hinton from IBX Media and also from Team Boneyard in to talk about the future of Team Boneyard with revenue sharing projected to take over this summer. So that'll be the next 2 days. Friday, we'll have Bobby Harward. We're also scheduled to have Braden Burris appear at some point over the coming days as well, ECU baseball player. So Philip Pilkington will be out of town Thursday and Friday. We'll have Dom in and also William in on Friday. So they'll be taking over the show. We'll see if they can get it done. Philip, what's your confidence level?
Good. Well, Dom will be fine. We know Dom will be fine. William will be good. My biggest worry with William, because he doesn't do a lot of the camera stuff, he'll be fine back here. It's going to be, like, do you and Bobby go to talk and, like, part of your heads are chopped off or something? As long as
they can hear us.
Yeah, intern Chris will be in to help out with the cameras. He's pretty good with that. And then, I think he'll be good back here. He's going to remind him to fire that little close with a minute to go. That's my other worry. But other than that, he'll be fine. And he's insightful, and we can talk. You can talk to him about why his Browns are going to sign Justin Tucker because they like to sign guys who like masseuses.
That'll be a good conversation for Friday for sure. Dontavius Nash, do y'all remember that name?
D. Nash.
I sure do.
The Caton Hauser trade has been completed. He's going to Michigan State. And he entered the portal like right after the Military Bowl. Just announced he's going to Michigan State. And to me, this shows just how hard it is to find quality depth. I don't think there was a ton of interest in the portal originally for Nash. Now, he is a spring graduate. He's been at ECU, which is a factor. But it just goes to show the spring portal can be a bit of a hit or miss. I was reading the Michigan State board, and they are like, why are we taking Dontavius Nash, who has upside. He's got length and experience, so I think he's a good depth add for Michigan State. But not a guy ECU wanted to pay a ton of money to come back. So, but congrats to D. Nash on his move. And he had the game-winning pick, game-stealing pick in the Military Bowl, so he'll always have his light at ECU.
Yep.
All right, guys, let's talk NBA. We'll start with the Thunder and Nuggets because it was a crazy game, and I also want to talk about a foul situation coming out of it. Nuggets win 121-119. The Thunder won 68 games in the regular season. They went 68-14, which is insane, but Denver has playoff experience. They have a championship pedigree. Oklahoma City is not really battle-tested in close games, and it showed late in the contest. So before we get into the foul situation, Brady, you are a non-Nuggets fan and a non-Thunder fan. So what was your nonpartisan take on this game as you saw it unfold?
Yeah, pretty crazy, to be honest. Two great games last night. The NBA playoffs have really not disappointed this season, other than maybe about the Cavs Heat series. But other than that, they've been great. And last night's game was probably one of the best we've had. It's just two really good teams going at it. And I mean, the Nuggets are. I think people still don't give them enough credit. I mean, Jamal Murray and Jokic are easily top 3 duo in the league, I think, when they're both on.
Basically in the playoffs. They just wait to the playoffs to both get going.
Shoot, if you're going to do that, then you're going to win games. But, yeah, it was a great game. We were texting back and forth last night in the foul situation and timeouts and challenges and whatever. Was pretty bad mistake for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, so their coach is named Daignault. We'll get into that in a minute. Who's like seen as this like brighter mind than everybody else. Coach.
Like a Sean McVay.
Yeah, but like clearly outthought himself last night.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon with the game-winning 3 off the pass from Russell Westbrook. Chet Holmgren, who became my least favorite NBA player last night. He fouls every possession. He's as thin as a pencil. He got pushed around. The Nuggets have a huge size advantage in this game. The Thunder are faster, create more turnovers, so it'll be interesting to see how that lasts over a full 7-game series. But you also had the 2 favorites to win the MVP, which, look, Shai is going to win it. But SGA, I thought he was good, 33, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. But, like, Nikola Jokic looked like the MVP last night. 42, 22, and 6. He was unstoppable. I don't think they have an answer for him in this series. And the foul situation was this. So in the fourth quarter, the Thunder were up. Let's see if I can find the exact moment. All right, yeah, 117 to 114 after Shai made 2 consecutive free throws. 13 seconds left. Nuggets call a timeout, advance the ball. At that moment, the Thunder don't want Jokic to get a 3 off. They foul him. Jokic makes 2 free throws to make it a 1-point deficit. Then the Thunder call a timeout. They end up converting off the inbounds, a wide-open layup to SGA. And then they foul again with 10.1 seconds left. Aaron Gordon goes to the line, makes both free throws. I should add as well, wasn't Jokic out of the game at this point?
Yes, they had taken Jokic out of the game for defensive purposes.
Because he had 5 fouls.
Yeah, so for defensive purposes, to go ahead and shoot the free throws. And then they made both free throws, and we're going to inbounds the ball with about 9 seconds left, if I remember.
Yeah, so the Thunder was up 3. Jokic was out of the game. The only way he could get in the game, because the Nuggets were out of timeouts, was a stoppage. And by virtue of the Thunder calling a timeout, or fouling, that allowed Jokic to come back into the game when Aaron Gordon was on the free throw line. So Aaron Gordon makes 2. That makes it a 1-point game again. Then Chet Holmgren gets fouled with the Thunder at 1. He misses both. Nuggets hit the game winner off the miss on the other end. So I just feel like 13 seconds combined with the fact you let Jokic come back into the game by fouling. I think he outthought himself. I don't know if you've reviewed any of this since you missed the game, but like to me, 13 seconds is too much time to be playing the foul game, and I just felt like it came back to haunt OKC.
Yeah, it's 100% too much. Look, you foul up 3 because you don't want to go to overtime. Okay, if you foul with 13 seconds left, if you don't foul and with 13 seconds left they hit a 3, you've got more than enough time to have faith in your team to score at the other end.
And they had multiple timeouts to advance the ball.
You foul up 3 with like 3 seconds left. You think of like the Carolina-Duke 2020 game in the Dean Dome. That's when I think there was like 1.8 seconds left when Carolina fouled Duke up 3. That's when you foul. The first sequence started too early. They fouled too early the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they fouled too early the second time. It's a chess match that you play with the fouling, not a checkers game. You don't do it now. You set it up. I mean, I think even if it's one of those where it's like clearly they're trying to like get a quick kick out, even if you get down to that 5, 6, maybe even 7-second range, but anything north of 7, I mean, no way in hell am I fouling at that point, because then there's just too many possessions, and now you're forced to make free throws. The team who's down is the one who's trying to extend the game, not the team who's up, and you extended the game for yourself. And look, you shot yourself in the foot by putting one of the best players in the world at the line and then missing 2 free throws. Didn't need to be taken in the first place because you fouled too early. I mean, I know hindsight's 20/20, but when you're up, you don't extend the game.
Yeah, you're making your own team have to make more free throws and execute. You're basically giving yourself more margin for error, more chances for error. So
not more margin, more chances.
Yeah, more chances. So it's like I just didn't understand that. And you're putting Jokic back in the game. When you're up 3 with Jokic out of the game, at that point you're just hounding Jamal Murray, making sure he doesn't shoot the 3.
Yeah,
right?
they could have ran. I mean, there was 13 seconds. It was either 13 or 9 seconds. I can't remember the exact time.
When Jokic was out?
Yeah, I got subbed back.
10 seconds, yeah.
10 seconds. And that was 10 seconds. You inbound the ball, and then there's still 10 seconds on the clock. They have to get all the way down the court.
Yeah, and they were fouling immediately. They weren't even letting the Nuggets dribble, which
so that's
I don't know.
4 seconds. You're going to have 6 seconds down there for them to get a shot off. And then you foul and let Jokic come back in the game. Obviously, Jokic didn't hit the game winner or something, but that's just a play stoppage, just everything. It was just terrible execution.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. And watching it, I was like, this is great to keep fouling it.
Yeah.
And I also heard a podcast this morning, which you're almost taking the emotion out of the game too. Like at that point, now the Nuggets were coming back and they had momentum, but you're almost making it less of a basketball game and making it more of like a clinical environment. And it just kind of
horse.
Yeah, it's just it makes it tough, especially when you're the home team facing pressure. You just have more time to think about what's happening instead of just going and playing. And they came back to bite OKC. So Nuggets still game 1, and thus far, guys, all the road underdogs have won the opening game of the series. Obviously, the Knicks came from behind to beat the Celtics, and the Cavs lost to the Pacers the other day. So pretty shocking. I mean, usually you see 1, maybe 2 of these, but for all 3, pretty surprising. Who is the most likely, Philip, in your opinion, to win a 7-game series after stealing game 1 on the road?
You want my biased opinion? The truth.
The truth.
The truth is, I don't think the Cavs are that good.
Yeah.
My biased opinion is, if you miss 40-some-odd three-pointers in a game, you're never going to win a game. Jalen Brunson is going to kick your butt, and I had to deal with Joe sending me videos of things I can't repeat on air. I'm going to get the company fined and myself fired about blank Boston, and Boston can go blank, blank, blank because, I mean, oh my, what are you doing? You're up by 20.
Can you repeat the Celtics night from 3? What was it?
15 of 57.
15 of 60.
I mean, what are you doing? Look,
poor.
You're up by 20 with 8 minutes to go. Just catch the ball and go into the rim. And the few times they scored down the stretch were in the paint. Every time, and when they didn't score, they got fouled. I mean, why are you jacking threes with 18 seconds left on the shot clock? I get you've relied on the 3 all year, but when it ain't falling, it ain't falling. It ain't your night. It's not like New York ever went on some run to come back and win the game. You just kept missing shots, and they just went down the court and made shots at a normal rate. They just kind of they scored only 30 points or something in the fourth quarter, 27 points, 30 points. You just couldn't score.
Mm-hmm.
25. I mean, yeah, 25, it's normal. That's on pace for 100 points. And you just can't score because you're being morons. I mean, how hard is it to not be a moron? Just don't be a moron. Just hit layups. Just pretend to be Russell Westbrook, but actually have it go in.
15 of 60 from 3 is crazy. And like you said, that's the Celtics game. They live by the 3 more than die by it, but last night they died by it. 15 of 60. The playoff record, 45 missed three-pointers, which is just insane. I tell you what, let's get our final break in. We'll come back. We got some questions on the NBA we'll get to. Bobby says the Celtics look like the Pirates shooting the 3-ball last night, pretty much. And we'll address those. We'll maybe touch on the Hurricanes if we have time. Game 1 tonight of their series. This is Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
Your roof is a vital part of protecting your home and family from dangerous storms and hurricanes. At Assist Roofing, we install and maintain metal roofing that provides precise protection. Add value to your home while lowering utility costs with a fortified roof to last a lifetime. With 0% financing, grants, and Energy Star Green Roofing tax credit available. Call us to schedule a free consultation so you can weather any storm with confidence.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
If you are interested in living longer and living stronger, Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine is accepting new patients for a limited time. Finding a caring physician can be a challenge. Dr. Billy Smith is board certified in physical medicine and lifestyle medicine and has been practicing in the area for many years. Call for an appointment now to Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine, 252-364-1108 in Greenville. That number again is 252-364-1108.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
This is Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Hoist the Colors. Final few minutes of the show. Brady Thomas hanging out. Philip Pilkington behind the glass. We have a couple of comments and questions. Bobby Harvard says, if the Nuggets make the finals, will I purchase a Nikola Jokic jersey? I think the only basketball jersey I've ever worn was like Chris Paul, Wake Forest. I had that back in the day when I was a kid. I have not worn a basketball jersey since. I can't envision myself wearing a basketball jersey. Like, is that a thing? Do y'all ever wear a jersey? A basketball jersey?
Not really, to be honest. I have two. I have Devin Booker Kentucky jersey and then a Tyler Hero Miami Vice jersey, and I don't ever wear either of them.
I mean, I have a Rondo vintage jersey that I wore when Rondo played. I've put it on a couple times, probably since now, especially he's retired. My Leitner jersey, I wore it first time I went to go see Duke play in the NCAA tournament in person. I've worn it to a couple Duke games, but yeah, it's not like. I mean, I'm not a big jersey guy anyways. I don't wear jerseys usually unless I'm at the game. When I was a kid, man, I loved jerseys. They're kind of uncomfortable. I'll wear a Bruins jersey opening day, and then if I go to the game, and same thing with now I have a few Red Sox jerseys, and I'll throw those in the rotation a little more, but usually it's Fridays on this show, opening day, beginning of the playoffs, stuff like that.
My wife calls my jerseys closet ornaments because they basically just stay in there. And now I'm with you. If I'm going to a game, I'm wearing a jersey, but I just rarely have time to go to a professional sport event. Now I did go to Nuggets Hornets this year. If I go to Nuggets Hornets next year, I would love to have a Joker jersey. But outside of that, I unless I'm like gonna wear one of this show when they're in the finals or for a watch along. I just can't walk around my house in a Joker jersey. Like I don't know. Maybe I will. I tell you what, if the Nuggets make the finals, I will buy a Joker jersey. To answer your question. But yeah, closet ornament for the most part.
For sure.
Bobby, we got a minute left. He says, Philip, I have a bone to pick regarding Porzingis. His softness cost me my parlay. Had him for 2+3s. So thoughts on Porzingis?
He's not soft. He's just made of glass. Like, dude's tough. He's played injured multiple times. Soft means you get a bruise and you cry about it like LeBron James. No, he's tough. He's like a hockey player. These Eastern European dudes are some tough dudes. The problem is he just has not been healthy probably since he left the Knicks like half a decade ago. And he busts his rear end every second that he's on the court, but unfortunately he cannot stay on the court. So you can call him glass, you can call him breakable, you can call him injury prone, but he is far from soft. Don't talk about him like that. We would scrap on Friday for you talking about my guy, but I'm not seeing this Friday because I'll be out of town.
In 20 seconds, Brady, tell me who wins the Golden State-Minnesota series and why.
Ooh, Minnesota. Ant Edwards, best player in the league. I expected the Warriors to win in quicker than 7 games than they did against the Rockets because I thought the Rockets weren't that good, and clearly the Warriors are not as good as I thought they were going to be. So give me Ant-Man, and I'll go 6.
Minnesota, a team built for the playoffs. I think they get it done as well. All right, we're out of time. Brady, appreciate you as always, man. We'll continue to get you on the show. Enjoy your graduation this week. Have some fun. We're proud of you.
Appreciate that.
Philip, thank you as always. One more day with you, and then you're off, and we'll make it work.
My sister's graduation, yeah.
Yep. We'll be back tomorrow, Rod and Robinson in studio. We'll see you then.
This has been Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo. Tune in weekdays at noon for all things